All right, guys. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Islam to kind of give you guys a little bit of background with that before our quiz next week. So basically, just like the other religions that we've been talking about in class, we're going to be talking about it from a very historical point of view, um, and the fact that Islam is one of the major religions of the area of the world that we're talking about in terms of the Eastern Hemisphere. So let's go ahead and jump right into it and talk about its founder. Their founder was a gentleman by the name of Muhammad, who the Muslims or followers of Islam, which we'll talk about here in just a second, believed that the angel Gabriel appeared to him, told him that he was the last messenger of God or Allah, as they refer him to in Arabic. Um, they believe he was the told him to be a messenger of God, and that he is the last and Muslims believe, or followers of Islam believe that he is the last and true prophet of God. And while one thing we need to understand is that they do believe that like people like Jesus and Moses and Abraham were all prophets as well too, but they believe that Muhammad is the last and true prophet of as it relates to their religion. Okay. Islam is the Islamic word for submission, meaning they are submitting to God. And the Muslims are the followers of Islam. So if you ever hear people referring to Muslims, those are the people that actually physically follow the religion of Islam. The Quran is the holy book of Islam. One of the big things you need to know for your chart. So make sure that you guys have that filled out. It is tells the story of Muhammad, tells the story of God, or Allah, and such like that in there. And it is the holy book, holy text of the world religion. Probably the biggest thing that we need to focus in terms of the beliefs of Islam are the five pillars of Islam. First of which being their profession of faith. And as we saw in the video, My Life, My Religion, they talked about all five of these, but faith, the profession of faith is there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. And in order for you to be a Muslim, you have to be able to make that profession of faith. Prayer is the second. They pray 5 times a day: morning, mid morning, noon, afternoon, and evening. They do their best to pray 5 times a day, and when they pray in the direction of Mecca, which is their holiest site in the religion. We'll get into that here in just a little bit. Charity, they need to give 2.5%, if they're physically able to, of their net worth a year in order to give that to charity. They need to fast during the holiest month of the year in terms of that, from sunrise to sunset in the month of Ramadan. And then the last one is the Hajj. And the Hajj is a pilgrimage that each of the Muslims is expected to take, if they're physically and financially able to do so, from wherever they are in the world to Mecca. We're going to watch actually a video about this tomorrow or the next day about the Hajj, and it is pretty good explanation of what they're doing. And basically what they're doing is they're following in the footsteps of Muhammad and Abraham and some of the other major character or major people within the religion as it relates to a certain time of the year in which they go on Hajj and they visit Mecca, they visit the Kaaba, they visit places like the Plain of Arafat and such like that. But it is a major portion of their religion if they are physically and financially able to do so. And Mecca, if you guys looked it up, is in Saudi Arabia, so it could be a major undertaking for some people. A jihad, which we've probably heard a lot in the news and stuff like that. Just wanted to kind of give the word in terms of it. Jihad is a religious duty in Islam. It means a struggle. Many of the things like that has been associated with terrorism and stuff like that has been associated with jihad. But jihad also means things like in terms of they wanted to end world hunger or whatever else like that. But it is a religious duty in Islam, so it's a big vocab word for you guys to know. Muslims worship in a mosque every Friday. And the mosque is the Muslim place of worship, much like a church in Christianity, much like a synagogue in Judaism. Like I said, the mosque is the Muslim place of worship, and this mosque right here is the mosque in Mecca. Inside of it is the Kaaba. It's a very huge mosque, and you will see that from the video that we're going to watch over it. with the amount of people that it can hold and everything else like that. Um, but this is a very extravagant. Mosques, much like churches, much like synagogues, can be from very simple to very, very extravagant, depending upon where they are in the world and how much money they decide to put into it and such like that. The symbol of the religion is the crescent and the star, originally used by Byzantium when the Ottoman Turks conquered. They adopted it as a military symbol and eventually became the symbol of Islam. Okay, much like the cross, much like the Star of David, so on and so forth. All things we've already talked about. You guys should all know that by now. The Kaaba, and that big mosque that I showed you guys earlier. This is it. This cube. It is the sacred shrine. It is also a mosque. It's believed to be the holiest site in the religion of Islam. I believe it is God told Abraham to construct it. Part of the whole belief system. This is what the Hajj all kind of centers around. And we're going to go into a lot more detail with that coming up with the video we're going to watch over, and a little bit of discussion we're doing about it. But the Kaaba is the most sacred shrine in terms of the religions of Islam. So that pretty much kind of wraps up Islam, kind of talks about it, kind of gives you guys a good idea as to what's going on there, kind of help you guys get ready for your quiz. All kind of important things for you guys to know. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to email me, ask me in class, whatever, and we'll kind of go from there.